Alright, hey everybody.
Difficulty works for me.
So, good to see everyone. Today we're doing Deeds of Valor. We got Deed of Valor set up here, ready to go. And it's gonna be
Alicia's got a good shot at
good to see you. I'm your host, Tiegon Berry. We got our usual crew together. Sadly, I'm not doing Twitch mode because you can't do Twitch along with Deeds of Valor. But we're doing a Deed of Valor that makes it so that there's more, just a lot tougher enemies, a lot more special enemies. We're gonna see more special enemies, and was it more special enemies and more storm vermin? I don't know. We'll see if we can double check it. Should have paid attention a bit more closely when we started, but good to see you, Nitro Online. Welcome to the stream. It should be fun. Sadly, like I said, you can't have the extra difficulty from the Deeds of Valor and the extra difficulty from the Twitch mode at the same time, so sadly Twitch mode is disabled just because we want to do these. Just because I want to do these Deeds of Valor is a different thing to do. Because I have a stockpile of Deeds of Valor, and there's no better time to do it than now, I would say. Yeah, and we're going to be doing Deltarune after this, so that's going to be a lot of fun, too. That's going to be awesome. I noticed that my sound was just ever so slightly, just a hair loud last stream, so I toned it down just a little bit. And hopefully it'll sound a bit better.
They'll sing about us for this story, win or lose.
Kill that brother!
Alright, it almost sounds like the music's different a bit. Or is this always how the music sounds? Sadly, we can't do Deeds of Valor and Twitch at the same time. They're exclusive. I would love to do Twitch and the Deeds of Valor at the same time, but yeah, it just doesn't work. 'Tis a shame. Yep, Shia LaBeouf gamer version, that's for sure. Yeah, why doesn't Shia LaBeouf play video games? That'd be great. He should play video games. You know, I bet he does play video games, he just doesn't play them publicly because he's too busy being Shia LaBeouf publicly, that's all. You know, there's a lot of celebrities that do game. I wonder what he does when he video games. He probably checks, does this video game contain cannibalism? Yeah, you know, I was just playing RimWorld, and I was just constant. I was playing RimWorld, and I was playing a tribe. I was playing tribals with Randy Random on Savage on the ice sheets. And for those of you who don't play RimWorld, that's really, really difficult. And I ended up having to resort to cannibalism. We ended up having to resort to cannibalism pretty fast. So that's perfect topic of conversation for this. I mean, because it's so hard to get food on the ice sheets when, you know, normally you have to use hydroponics because there's nothing grows in the ice sheet. But I'm a tribal, so I can't do that. Oh. So, yeah. That's, I would say there's no more perfect topic than that. I ended up running a whole colony of cannibals, man. At least for a little while. Like, it was amazing. My colony was about to die, and then we'd, like, get another person. Like, oh, you get a... Randy Random was like, oh, you get a free person. That's like, oh, okay. Oh, and a free... And then this person crash lands, and you get a raid, or whatever. All these people kept showing up, so I kept killing people, or people kept getting killed, and I kept getting new people. Oh, the patrol. Okay, yeah, gotta keep backing up. And since you're in the ice sheet, when people die, they automatically freeze. So it's almost like you have frozen... You have a refrigerator everywhere, so, like, keeping people alive, keeping your frozen food is easy. if you have a lot of people dying, but yeah, mostly we were having to live off of meat exclusively, and a lot of people meats. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, okay. I'm a little bit grabbed right now. Okay, got my special off. Come here, Wazix. And good to see you, Darnock. Welcome back to the stream. It's been a little while. I'm getting a bit surrounded here. I got my defensive ability on though, so okay for now. Push. 1, 2, 3. Push. Alright, took some damage there though. Ah, yes. Yeah. Yeah, I tend... You got Eugene. I tend to get a lot of messages. And so, yeah, I don't always answer them all. But definitely, when I'm in the middle of a stream, I tend not to respond to Steam messages. Naturally. But yes, I think I did get that message. Uh-oh. Okay, this is all sorts of bad. Ah, crap. Ah, crap. There was a bunch of berserkers. There were so many berserkers. I wasn't staying close enough together. I wasn't staying close enough together with my friends, and I died first. Look at all those specials. Look at all those specials. There were so many berserkers and heavies. Wait, did we trigger the patrol? We might have triggered a patrol. Did we? That seems like a patrol's worth of heavies. Did we trigger the... Did I? I feel like I made some noobish mistakes. I wasn't paying enough attention, maybe. My friends are doing okay. No, Aaron's fallen. Still, I died first, which is a bit of a shame. If I'd been sticking closer together. Let's try that again. Wow. Yeah, that was hard. It is kind of like killing Floor 2. You got that. And yep, I still play DOS games. I was playing the Amazon Trail 2 the Amazon Trail recently, which is like the Oregon Trail, except for you go up the Amazon River, except for it locked up right at the end. I also played Crush Crumble Chomp. I've been playing a lot of old DOS games recently, so yeah, check it out in my lead. Oh, we did. Oh, we did trigger it. Okay. Okay. I didn't notice that we triggered the patrol, but, well, I did notice there was a lot more heavies, so, yeah. Hopefully I didn't do that. I was a little bit distracted with talking to my chat a bit. I'll try to be a bit more aware. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it was me this time. Or I'll stick... Just gotta stick closer together with my guys. That might have been me. Could have been me. Definitely could have been me. If you're not fully aware, it easily could have been you. Alright, we all make mistakes. Oh, I should have looked at the details of the Deed of Valor, but I think we get the idea. Good to see you, hello, Rockoen. Yes, I wouldn't mind playing more Killing Floor. And Eugene, I know you want me to play more, The Long Dark, and I will get back to that. I need to figure out, like, I've got a lot of games that I want to play right now, but I'm gonna figure out where to put that in my schedule. I have not heard you this session so far, Aaron. Yeah. You guys aren't hearing Aaron. Aaron was asking if we hear him. Oh, but were you guys were hearing me though, right? Or no? I think you guys were hearing me. Or am I pressing the wrong button? Testing. 1, 2, 3. Huh, I guess the voices did get turned off. Okay, well, the voice chat, the in-game voice chat isn't working. You know, some games, that's one of those problems with this game, is that, like, when I press the voice chat button, some games it shows an indication of when the voice chat's actually being effective. This game doesn't give you that feedback. It would be nice to have that, like a little symbol that comes up when you're pressing the button. Of course, you guys are hearing me. That makes sense. my teammates, though. My teammates are not, which... That's, but I'm glad, yeah. I'm glad you guys are hearing me, though. That is useful input. Awesome. I'm excited for Deltarune, too. Or as well. I mean, if there's a sequel to Deltarune, I'm excited for that as well. But yeah, Deltarune's gonna be fun after this. I just gotta make sure to stick together. Can't get ahead, can't get overwhelmed. My friends provide the attack power, I'm the defense. And the defense is no good just by myself. I'll slowly get overwhelmed. That's what I'm all... Comedy combat's all I'm about. Oh, that's okay. I know what you mean. I know what you mean, even if you mess up my name slightly. No worries. Uh-oh. There he is. Okay, there he is. Rat Ogre. Alright. He's focused on me. Nope, you focus on me, Rat Ogre. Rat Ockery. Now, there was a tooltip that said when you push something, you tend to pull aggro more if you push something, but I don't think that's true for monsters, is it? I pushed your butt. Ooh, I pushed your butt. Are you angry? He doesn't seem to care about me too much. Well, there was no call for me to use my special. He didn't want to fight me. Good job. Okay. What was the quick chat button?
Hear that? The stomping great.
Oh, that's how I look at my... There it is. Yes. Cheers. I want to get used to using that. Yes, the T key. The same as my spot key. The spot key, but you hold it down. Ah, thanks. Thanks, Negar. Or, yeah. Thanks, Nee. I appreciate that. This game is a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm glad you're on the Twitch side of things, Fish. Alright, so far so good. As long as we don't get any hordes of specials.
Live leech, eyes open.
One less leech.
Nah, I haven't played Detroit Become Human, but I did watch a couple people play it because it looked interesting, and I don't have a PS4. No, basically I called the stream Deadly Deeds because we're doing Deeds of Valor, and the game is Vermintide 2. You should be able to see the fact that it's Vermintide 2 at the bottom, down at the bottom, like in the description below. Like, it's one of the things I've been questioning is whether or not I should put put the game. Like, it's a typical thing to put the game's name in the title, but because now YouTube identifies games and has a special field that you put in the name of the game, I'm not sure if I should put the name of the game in every single title or not. I mean, it's descriptive, it helps, but yeah, it does lead to some confusions. So maybe I should.
I need more ammunition.
Everything looks good so far. I gotta stay on this side of the stairs. Oops. Got in his line of fire by accident. Stay loaded. This is a reasonably new game, I would say. It's been out for... It's not brand spanking new, but it's been out for less than a year.
Blightstormer, I warned you.
Yeah, I do love a Mountain Blade. I have no idea when Bannerlord's coming out. I wish I did. But... yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Ooh. Ooh, almost got me. It's Skaven Storm Vermin. Gotcha. Okay. Or I wounded him at least.
Pointed flame on that wind. Warp fire.
Okay, I'm kind of splitting up. I should stick together. Even if it's just on the other side of the bunks.
Fire thrower.
Ooh, I just got a heavy hit from one of these guys. Yeah, there's a lot of storm vermin today. Ooh, no, oh, okay, thank you. You did get me. I said no, but that's not what was happening.
I will end you.
Ooh, gotta watch out for that poison. So I'm not doing quite so hot. But yeah, I love the Prophecy of Pendor. I feel like that's one of my favorite mods. At a certain point. Sure, you shall not pass. You shall... Ah, shit, they are pass. As soon as I say it, though, I end up like crap. They did pass. They passed actually quite easily. No, it just ended up... I just ended up making that, You shall pass! You will pass. Oh, yes. Were you coming through here? Okay, well, fine. Fine then. Guess I won't be impeding you at all. I'm actually very accommodating in this case.
Little enough we can use.
Well, I'm gonna have to look for some healing. Right, I can't drink because I have the regeneration on. I'm gonna need the other kind of healing.
But the exiled can.
I mean, at least I'm regenerating, so. Gotta give them headshots. Yeah, I do like my dwarves. They're always good for comedy. They're always happy people.
Revolting, but it could be worse. I hear the gas at.
Timely age, Hunter.
Healing draft.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I shouldn't have picked up this potion if I have this particular setup on. Unless I want to hand it to someone else, but I should pick up a tome, probably. Uh-oh. Ooh. The overhead attack. Nope. Nope. Wait, where's my friends? Okay, did we save him? We saved him, okay. Should I? Nope, I'm not gonna use this bomb. I'm just gonna put that back out. I'm glad we saved McTable there. That was kind of scary. Well, you would think so. I wouldn't think that a pickaxe would be the best weapon, but apparently this is a very sharp bladed pickaxe, and well, the way it works in the game is actually incredible. It's a very good weapon in the game. I don't know about real life, but maybe if it was sharpened like this, like, normally a pickaxe is only sharp on the pointy bit, but if it's all bladed, it is very fitting for a dwarf. You can just mine your way through the enemies. It's great for just digging your way through a horde of bad guys. It's got a nice pace. Although I did really like the axe. The axe is really nice. There's an axe and shield combination. I miss my shield instead of using a two-handed weapon. I'm getting too aggressive. My friend got leashed a bit. Oh, it looks like Aaron took some damage, and also I took some damage too, so I'm gonna stick with Aaron there. And I'll do that symbiotic healing thing I've got going for me. Oh, that was a miss. Yeah, the hammer is quite nice. The only thing I didn't like about the hammer is that it wasn't quite as good at keeping... It's not as good at beating the... It's not armor piercing, that's right. The hammer doesn't pierce armor, so... Like, the hammer does pretty good at crowds, but then if it hits an armored opponent, it gets stopped. And so, yeah, like, the hammer is great for the crowds. Unless there's a guy wearing armor inside of a crowd. And then when you're swinging, your hammer gets stopped right on the guy with armor. And it doesn't go any further, and then that's an issue. So yeah. And yeah, and dwarves can't use swords. Okay, got the tome. Well, I'm gonna need to get back up in a second. Guess I'll grab the ammo too. Okay, let's go. I mean, as long as your friends have good armor-piercing capability, I guess that's okay. But I don't like having to rely on my friends to deal with armored opponents, because sometimes you just have to deal with a lot of armored opponents in a hurry, and if you've got a hammer, it's good luck. Good luck to you if you're dealing with a lot of armored enemies and other enemies at the same time when you have a hammer. Whereas with a pickaxe, I can actually kind of pull it off slightly. I was not waiting for the assassin. Okay. Good thing I had my special. I heard the assassin, I just wasn't thinking about him. Okay, this took way more damage than I wanted to. Yeah, usually, like, concussive weapons do deal some damage or shake people up. Even against armor, it's true. They just don't pierce the armor. So, they should do more than nothing, but generally speaking, when you hit armor opponents, it does nothing. Unless you get a head hit. But that's a good point. That's one of the things that's weird about the armor system in this game. I mean, certainly it's better to pierce armor than to bash at it. But the force, you still get the force from the blow. Man, some of the ragdolls on these rats are just totally freaking out. But that's one of those things, like with a piercing attack, if it doesn't get through the armor, then it does basically nothing. It's an all or nothing kind of attack. Whereas bashing damage, you're still gonna get something through, even if you don't pierce the armor with a bashing attack. You're still gonna feel some of the force. Just the sheer weight is gonna translate a bit to your opponent. So it's a good point. And in Warhammer Total War, hammers have armor piercing. That makes sense. Well, Darnock, there are certain swords in history that are actually designed to pierce armor. There are certain armor-breaking swords that have a certain design. But, yeah, not all swords. But there are certain swords that are designed with armor in mind. For just, like, piercing through it. But, yeah, it's usually more of a stabbing thing than a slashing. Like, not your big slashing swords. I think that's why the Romans preferred the gladius so much, is because it actually could get through armor a bit. Generally, you're better off stabbing someone than slashing at them or hacking at them.
Look around you. Someone kill that looking straggler.
A dead one.
The unholy garden is the plague.
Okay, we're making good progress this time.
Plague vermin, kill on sight.
A foul rattling. Watch that vermin hawk.
That is so many berserkers right there. That was a horde of fanatics. That was scary. Definitely a good place for me to use my special. Those fanatics could have ripped me to pieces if I let them. I was hearing... Ah, there's a Gatling.
Craftsman needs only one shot, Ratty.
Alright, cool. I'm getting my health back. Well, if you're talking about a claymore, I think claymore was more of a Scottish weapon. Scottish weapon. But I know what you mean, like there were two-handed greatswords or Zweihanders used by knights to great effect. There were certain battles. There was a particular battle I read about during the Crusades where there was a few knights trapped in a defensive location. I think there was like, was it the Knights Hospitaller? Anyways, they were protecting a city and it was a siege and they only had a few knights in a narrow area. And those knights, while defending during a siege, were able to take out tons of attackers. Just using two-handed swords to just take down. Like, just imagine swinging a two-handed sword against unarmored opponents until you're exhausted. Like, that's the kind of situation. Thank you. Alright, got it. Whoops! Oh no! Oh, there was my bonus health. Good thing I had bonus health. Ow. My tiny dwarven legs are tinier now. Okay. They're even more compressed. Somehow I just got shorter. I fell and somehow got shorter. I think I actually got taller, actually. I don't know.
Straight from the false moon.
That hurt. But I got the Grim.
Look out, brother!
Down here. Look out! Chaos warrior!
Okay, I think I'm hearing a patrol. Yeah. But it's behind us, so we don't have to worry.
That mayflies. Festering rather than ahead.
Yeah, it's either just gonna be like a two-handed sword, or like a great sword, or a Schweihander. Let's see, what particular type of two-handed sword were they using? The Schweihander is definitely an impressive sight, that's for sure. Alright. Now, I think, like, these fire bombs can friendly fire, so I do have to worry about when I'm deploying them. But during the Crusades, what were those knights that I was talking about during the Crusades? What were they using in that particular fight? Would it be like that German Schweihander? I'm not sure. I have to watch that documentary I was watching again. I mean, a lot of them were like German. If they were German knights, there'd be the potential of them using the Schweihander. I'm gonna say sure it was the Schweihander. Because the Schweihander is just impressive anyways. Alright, I already got my tome and stuff, so I don't need to do that.
The work-fire thrower's gone. Up these steps. I need ammunition.
I hear a blight storm has come.
I'm surprised I didn't friendly fire there.
Blight stormer, bring us down before he comes.
Okay, I better bring medical supplies. Oh right, I had its home. I shouldn't do that. Cool. Alright.
A fitting sight from which to humble our foes.
A shame you haven't fired for
All right.
blood.
Just keep all
Thank you.
arms the same length.
Alright, let's do this. Ah, yes, the S-Stock. Yeah, that was one of those armor-ripping swords, yes. Or armor-piercing, designed to... One of those thrusting swords, as they say. That were designed for armor piercings.
Time to ring the bell.
Ah, and rapiers are actually the same weight as most swords. That makes sense. Okay. Is this the new spot to hold out? Alright, I think we can do this. Usually when we actually make it to this point,
Bring your swarms, Raki.
I usually don't have parties that fail at this point once I make it here. Got it. Gotta be careful of gas.
I'm still standing.
I don't want to follow that guy out too far. Overextending is dangerous. That's a lesson I've had to learn the hard way. This weapon... Oh, I'm still getting hit by the acid. Okay. Didn't think it was affecting me down the stairs that much. This weapon has a really good charged up attack, but I don't take advantage of that fact very much. That's one of the things I'm not utilizing very well with the pickaxe. Well, except for the push charge attack. That one I use. I use this one, and that one's really sweet. So I guess I'm kind of using the charge attack of the pickaxe, but I'm not fully utilizing my weapon's capabilities, but it does what I want it to do, and that's all that matters. Alright, Hammy's a bit low, so I'll help out Hammy. Hammy's down. Definitely gonna help out Hammy. Got it. Ah, great swords. That makes sense. Yeah, because a Zweihander obviously is German. It is interesting how there's so many... The history of arms and armor, it's just really interesting, all the different styles and names of weapons. I find that quite interesting. And especially with when video games are involved. But I always was kind of interested in that kind of stuff. But when you play video games, you kind of get to know the weapons in a sense. You get to become that much more familiar with them, because it's one thing to study them, but it's another thing to actually kind of use them a bit. Even if you're not actually using them in reality, it's still... You still kind of get to know... You get to know them a bit. Oh, we're really close. That's the sound of victory coming in. That makes sense. Yeah, they had a great tradition of, like, when they said when the Spanish came to Japan, they had the Japanese respected their rapiers and respected the Spanish fidalgos because they were the Spanish had a very colorful way of dressing and had a lot of pomp and circumstance and ceremony about, like, being like a gentleman. And the Japanese were very impressed with that. And their swords. And so they thought, like, wow, like, this guy's like a real nobleman. He must be like the version of... They thought, like, this guy's like a samurai. That's what they looked at him as. Whereas, like, when the English came over, they weren't quite as... Like, their noblemen would hang out with the commoners a bit more and act a bit more common and things like that. So, yeah, we can do harder. That was great. So, yeah, and when you learned about the folding of the sword, like how Japanese swords are made with different types of metal and all that stuff, it is pretty amazing. Like the level of technology that went into that. So I got a bunch of scrolls. Some of them are various difficulties. What's this one? Player will not respawn. Damage over time. Hordes. Play as whoever you like. I don't mind.
About that shield work of yours.
Interesting setup. So the mercenary with one of those multi-barreled guns. On a shield. Nice. Oh, accepted.
Yes, to be a Zulun Baki years back. I knew it! Why'd you give it up? It's complicated, Azulgi. I don't like speaking of it.
So that's interesting. I love the little backstories, the conversations you have. Yeah, and it's amazing that, like, the idea of dueling, like, if somebody gave you a problem, like, what if we lived in a day and age where if somebody pissed you off, like, imagine, people get pissed off at each other on the internet all the time, but what if at any point somebody could say, that's it, we're having a duel. We're having a duel to the death. Okay? Or you have to take the insult back. Oh, that's one way to deal with trolling. Oh, if you have infinite lives. I mean, good lord. It's either that or if you're not, you know. We're gonna have a duel. We're either gonna stab each other or shoot each other or something. Oh. I mean, people are getting killed all the time. I don't think I'd be a fan of dueling, but it's like, it's amazing to think of. That's it. What'd you say about my mama? We're having a duel. In today's episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Travels in time. Oh, I've come to the past and I want to duel. Duel. All right. Take back 10 spaces and fire. What? Wait, what? Where's the children's playing cards? No, we're using guns. Guns for a duel? You're mad. I'm sorry. I only children's playing card games to death. We can still have death. Choose your weapon. Children's playing card games. Thank you. They made good with what they had. Exactly. It's a good thing we've got children's playing cards games for now. Or a children's card game to settle fights to the death now. That's what we should do. It's time for Magic the Gathering to death. Ooh, oh, okay. That's a lot of gas. Somebody got gas. Oh, everyone jumped down but me. Yeah, and the Roman Colosseum is really interesting too. I mean, just the brutal history of violence, or the history of brutal violence, whichever. It is really interesting. It's horrible and interesting at the same time. Yeah, we're feeling pretty good after all that. Alright, but yeah, like the idea that the Roman armor in the Colosseum was made so that you would bleed out and die. It's like, here, you can have armor to cover up the vital points of your just so you don't get hit in the vitals. We gotta have a good show. I also thought it was really interesting how, like, somebody finally explained to me the point of, like, sometimes you see gladiators with asymmetrical armor. And I thought, that's not very good, asymmetrical armor. Like, you have only one shoulder that has armor and the other shoulder's totally exposed. And it's like, if I saw somebody with only one protected shoulder, I'd stab him in the other shoulder, right? But with certain weapons, like, let's say you're using a two-handed weapon, and I swing in a certain way. If you're smart, if you're smart, you can just... If I only have armor on one shoulder, I'll just constantly stick that shoulder forward. I'm just gonna stand sideways. That's the idea. Which doesn't always work out, but if it does, like, that's the idea. You don't have to wear as much armor. You can get away with it weighing less, and then you just stick your right shoulder. I've only got armor on my right shoulder, so I'll stick it forward all the time. It kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense, but still, it doesn't look as cool. Like, that kind of armor looks cool. Like, what if he only had armor on one of his shoulders? I'd constantly hit him in the other shoulder, right? It'd work. Ow, okay, fine. Ooh, I got full bonus health. That's cool. Just keep ripping through him. Is that a berserker over there? Okay, Aaron's a little isolated. Okay, I'm overextending a bit. Let's not overextend. Okay, I went and jumped into this thing, and that's not good. I don't want to be down in the water. The enemy's got the height advantage on me. Wow, we are getting a lot of hordes. They said extra hordes, and they were right. Can I get up? Get there we go. I'm having trouble getting up. How dare you? Yeah, there was, yeah, ballistas are, the idea of a ballista is really incredible, too. Like, that the Romans utilized that to great effect was really cool. There's a YouTube channel I watch called Lindy Beige, who talks about, like, ancient weapons and armor and stuff like that. You guys might have seen him if you're into that sort of thing. But if you haven't checked him out, I recommend him, because he's kind of interesting for that particular topic, because he goes in depth about it. But he talked about the usefulness of nets in combat, because gladiators would use nets, and basically they can work as a tripping weapon in, like, a gladiator fight. But, like, basically he asserted that nets don't really have much of a place on a battlefield, and that argument made sense. Oh, awesome. Awesome, Darnock. I appreciate that. Yeah, I like having a conversation with you guys, too. It's really cool. Like, we can just talk about all sorts of things. Like the fact that I slipped. And, wait. The pilum, or the pilum? That was the Roman throwing spear, right? That was designed to break or bend. Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty good setup. Like, the idea that they went into combat with a few spears and then, like, a short sword. Like, the Romans were very good at, like, we only have so much weight. And that was, like, the heavier. Yeah, it was like a javelin. Like, that was the heavier troops. So, okay, we got a monster coming. The heaviest of the Roman troops weren't as heavy as, like, the heaviest knights in, like, Western medieval history. Well, they did wear fairly heavy armor. It's like their weapon was pretty short. Okay, the Storm Fiend went that way, but my friends are this way, so I guess I'll try to hold off the Storm Fiends while my friends are... Ooh, oh, okay, that hurt. Did I get stabbed in the back? I think I hit in the back. Okay, I gotta focus for this part. Where's the... Oh, nope, special guy's down there. Okay, got the grabber. I hate that guy. But that, they had, like, several different... They had several different troops. Like, they had their... The Romans had, like, medium troops, light troops, and heavy troops. And, like, the light troops of the Romans were actually quite interesting. Oh, wait, no, I'm thinking of the... Oops, I almost started talking about the lights. Well, they had slingers and light skirmisher troops as well. And so the idea is, like, if you have less armor, you can go out in front of the heavier troops and constantly just continue to harass the enemy. And then the shock troops can finally move in when you're ready to commit. And, like most great forces throughout history had troops like that. Like the Greeks. I mean, the Romans, a lot of the Roman fighting strategy developed, you know, kind of came from the Greeks or were inspired by the Greek way of fighting. But they just kind of took it to the next level. And, was, I think, the Spartans. When a Spartan soldier was like high school age, they would have these wolf helmets they would wear, and they would have like, or wolfskin hats, and they would have like lights. Like the younger, more energetic soldiers would continuously like harass and back away and just be able to run around and fight, but never fully engage. And that was very effective, it seemed. And that's one of the things that, like, whenever you hear about Spartan soldiers, you always hear about, like, the heavy duty, like, the main Spartan army, but you don't always hear about, like, the lesser soldiers that they had. Whoops! Okay. Because every society had, like, slaves or... well, either slaves or just lower-ranking members of societies that would assist in combat in various capacities. And, yeah, just the idea of just, like, an army of slingers. Like, it's just rocks. You'd think that it would be easy enough to protect yourself from rocks. But, like, a hail of rocks. Like volleys of them, and you basically have as much ammo as there is rocks around, and there's plenty of ammo, so like the harassment potential, eventually one of those rocks is gonna do some damage, so I gotta stick with Aaron here. Okay, it's okay, so I'll put on my special. I'm actually benefiting from the additional hordes because I get lots of health from the little baddies. That works. Oh, okay, good. That was an accurate shot. Yeah, and that was definitely one of the most effective things about the Romans, is that they had extremely good discipline, extremely good training, and they were able to apply the weapons, their mixed weapons, together without becoming like just a random horde. Getting back attacks. Just trying to sneak a peek at my checks. I was thinking things were cooling down, but wow, I just got a ton of health from that one swing because I think I did an assist hit. That's the amazing thing about this heroic intervention pickaxe is sometimes I'll just get like half my health meter in one swing. It's like you just did 10 assists. Nice assist. And both the person I'm assisting and I both get like a bunch of health. It's really effective. It's super effective. Hook rat? I don't see the hook rat. Guess Aaron got him. How does one get rid of bad traits? Not sure exactly what you're talking about, Nee. Bad traits and what?
I'm out.
Yeah, and with enough velocity, that's just classic physics. With enough velocity, anything can do damage.
Stay out of the water.
If it's going fast enough. So yeah, like a long enough sling length and like a strong arm. Or just a gap in the armor. Oh, real life traits. Yeah, you just gotta work at it. Just a healthy attitude can help. Although there's some things, it depends. There's some traits of your, you know, personal traits you can change. There's some traits you just can't. That's just life. And, you know, it's hard to say what exactly is the right frame of mind to have. I believe that, like, being confident and all that stuff is good, but, like, sometimes people who really don't like themselves turn out to be, like, better people in the long run just because they're trying. If you don't like who you are, that gives you an incentive to improve yourself. Like, I know that not liking who you are sounds negative, and it is in many ways, and you should like yourself. I'm definitely saying you should definitely like yourself. But if you're too overconfident, you won't have a reason to improve yourself. Like, if you think I'm perfect, then you're not going to make yourself any better because you think you're perfect, right? So, yeah, that's the right mental attitude and effort. So, I guess there's a bright side to not liking who you are. If you don't like who you are, good news. You're on the road to becoming a better person, right? It's either that or you're on the road to a downward spiral that'll eventually destroy you. But if you can break out of the downward spiral, you know, I feel like you're closer. If you don't like who you are, you're closer to improving yourself than somebody who likes themselves way too much. Like delusional, you know? I guess. I don't know. Like, yeah. Yeah, definitely like who you are, though. Just don't go crazy with this. As within reason. Don't, without being delusional. You gotta like. Well, then again, sometimes delusional people do really well in life. I mean, I don't know. Who am I to say that somebody who's got an ego so big that he's, I don't know. What is best in life? What is the best attitude in life? Yeah. Humility is important. I definitely feel like humility is an overlooked thing. Like, well, then again, like, like celebrities. I feel like it's really hard for a celebrity to be humble. But I feel like humility is truly a virtue. It is. And it is something to be praised and something to be sought, and it makes people more comfortable, and it makes you more likable and all that stuff. Exactly. I'm totally too confident. You got me. What are you talking about? I think in the words of I am presidential in that I am the most humble person you will ever meet. I think the president said that, and he's humble, and so am I. I'm more humble than I am the most humble. That's a statement you can never get away with. It never works. There's a lot of things you can say. I'm the most confident person, and it might be true, but I am the most humble person in the history of the world. You better believe it. There's no contradictions there. I know how to spot contradictions too. I can spot contradictions. I can spot contradictions better than Phoenix Wright. I'll be like, objection. There's no objection here. He's not just humble, he's the most humble ever. That's what he is. Always the most of everything ever. Wow, my screen's getting really bloody. We're just not making any progress, but all our bonus health is full. We're gonna have a lot of kills by the end of this. Just wading through a wall of flesh. Man, there's this old W.C. Fields routine where he was talking about, like, all his past adventures. Bragging. He was bragging to this kid. saying like, I was surrounded by engines. I had nothing but my knife with me. I had no choice but to fight to survive. I took my buck knife and I was carving through a wall of flesh. that's right, he said, I had my trusty revolver. And then the child says, a revolver? But that was the old days. Revolvers weren't invented yet. Oh, well, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, I lost it anyways. I lost it. I had a revolver, I lost it. Doesn't matter, I lost it. I only had my knife. It's just me carving through a wall of flesh. I don't know, there's something about like in the 50s vernacular saying carving through a wall of flesh that just kind of sticks with you. Oh, yeah, Secret Hitler, yes. That's actually, I want to play that game. There's a board game. Yep, the secret is that the Hitler mustache is under the normal one. I want to play that board game. Have you guys ever played Secret Hitler? Okay, Hammy just took a hit. And we can't get our friends back if they die, so we really gotta make sure our friends don't die. I bet I'd make a really good Secret Hitler. I think I make the best Secret Hitler. I can be quite deceptive in those games of... Like, in games, I do okay in games of psychological deception. It is kind of fun. Bluffing games. Like, that is one of the things I liked about that Town of Salem game. Yeah, somebody mentioned, that's right, Cy Redeye, one of my patrons, mentioned Tabletop Simulator, that I should get into Tabletop Simulator. And Secret Hitler is one of the games for the Tabletop Simulator. Would you guys like me to get Tabletop Simulator and play that? I would love to play it with some fans. I'll grab that. Exactly. I am the most humble Hitler in the... I better stop. The impressions... let's not do an impression here. I am the most humble Hitler in the history of Hitlers. Of all the Hitlers. I'd be a very discreet Hitler. The best Hitler ever. Board games are a ton of fun, yes. And there's a ton of cool ones. That Tabletop Simulator keeps getting better and better. That makes sense. Yeah, if I can get some of my viewers are more experienced with Tabletop Simulator, so I'll probably have them help me out, like get things organized. That would be a boon. But yeah, that'd be awesome. Well, cool. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, if you guys would want to get involved, yeah, let's chat more about that on the Discord, because if you guys wanted to, like, if we could get together a full table of that, that'd be cool. I'm all for it. Yeah, what I love about this pickaxe is that hordes are just no problem. I can just... It's just the other things. I just gotta worry about getting snatched in the middle of a horde. Speaking of getting snatched, crossbow. There we go. Okay, there goes that Chaos Warrior. Yeah, I don't think the requirements for Tabletop Simulator are that high. And even if Tabletop Simulator is a little bit laggy, you know, most of the tabletop games are turn-based anyways, so as long as you're getting like a certain number of frames, it's playable. I would say, as long as you're getting like over 15 frames, it's not like you need perfect frames like a game like this, or you're gonna pay for it. Unless it's so slow that like you move a piece into a wrong location, but otherwise, even if it's barely playable. Tabletop Simulator. Oh, I'm getting trashed. Gotta activate my special. I got surrounded. Okay, I gotta stick with Aaron. Okay, I'm attracting all the aggro, which is good. Gotta stick with Aaron here. I can get those heroic interventions. There was... Wait, what? Did we lose connection? That's weird. Oh no, it's taking me back to the keep. Aw. Oh, because we lost... Oh, was it... Because it... I guess... because it was Aaron's deed.
Don't stay up too late. I've got work for you to do.
Normally, Aaron can just drop out, or was it... Or doesn't it usually, like, transmit... Normally it transfers host. But I think because it was a deed... Yeah, normally it transfers the host to another player, but I think because it was a deed of valor, it didn't. That's a bit of a shame. I mean, I don't want anyone to feel bad, but yeah. No worries, Aaron, it happens, you know. So, and thanks for dropping by, and good to see you. Good to see you, Dubwubs, and you, Al Pedro. Good to see you. Sadly, we just lost our progress in the game. Maybe I should do one of my deeds of valor. Just, well, I mean, we can still do Aaron's. But did I have a good one? Do I have a good one? I've got this one. That's okay. It's not quite as legendary as Aaron's was. Got this legendary one. No pickups, no respawns. That's not that hard. I mean, we can still do Aaron's. Because these are blue. I see, there's like different colors. Ah, so green ones aren't as hard as blue ones. Whereas a yellow one is like a legendary one. So, yeah, like Aaron had a legendary... Okay, so that's like a legendary one, but it's only veteran. I get it, because it has 2 rewards. I see. Okay. So yeah, if I did one of my legendary ones, it'd at least be the blue one.
Uplifted. You understand duty.
And always stern and present Mistress Cookie, to be loved and feared at the same time.
And if we fail, we must reassert.
If you
our
drop during the game, no matter whose deed it is, you won't be able to come back.
Else atone.
We can try it again.
Which would you choose?
It is my hope never to find out. I shall keep to the path.
Paths are slippery, Grimgy. Mind your footing.
Okay, I only have green and blue legendary deeds, whereas Aaron has an orange one. So that is better. I got a non the Pedro. Ban the Pedro in the chat? Why is that?
It caught our attention that the Rotbloods are digging for something. Turns out they're after the lost monolith of Gulmagak. Cursed thing is said to contain the putrid soul of a long-dead...
Oh, no, not Pedro. Pedo. I get it. I wasn't reading. Yeah, I get it. You're joking. I get the joke. Because you said, yeah, because he's a pedo. We can't have a pedo. Well, yeah, it's one letter difference. So that was like what was it, the IT crowd? That's right. There was a guy named Peter File, and it was like, is there a pedophile? Is there a Peter File? I'm looking for a Peter File. Peter File? Which, like, the British pronounce it like that. So it's even worse for the British. Whereas we say a pedophile. Or pedophile instead of pedo. Pronunciation's a little bit different, but it was bad. Because every time they would call his name, like, everyone would be looking around. A pedophile? There's a pedophile here? The pedophile for the phone for pedophile? Everyone's like, the mothers are like protecting their kids. God, I do love wading through hordes in this game. That never's gonna get old. So somebody please think of the children. This game is pretty savage. It reminds you a lot of Left 4 Dead and other things like that. Just fighting hordes of enemies. Kind of reminds you of like some of those Dynasty Warriors games or things like that, except for a bit more realistic. I can kill thousands of enemies. We will stack their bodies up like cordwood. It's a good thing you don't actually have to climb over the dead bodies. Like, that's another thing. Wait, was it the siege of Malta? No, I'm getting confused, but in any case, that like when they were defending that siege in the Crusades that I was talking about, whenever they were killing their opponents, the dead bodies of their opponents would help build up their defenses. So like their enemies would have to climb over the dead bodies of the people they had previously dispatched, making it slightly easier for the defenders. So yeah, just it is quite an idea of just like the idea of one of those crazy charges where you're just throwing tons of people at some defenses. Like the dead body stacking up can be your advantage or disadvantage depending on if you need to get through an area. It'd be really cool if a game simulated that. Or, well, I mean, there are a few games that simulate it, but not very many, and not very well. For example, I remember both Sword of the Samurai and Way of the Samurai. 2 samurai games did that. It was hilarious in Way of the Samurai. You would back up, and if there was a dead body behind you while you were walking backwards, your character would fall backwards and trip over it, and you would need to stand back up, which really sucked in the middle of combat. Your guy's just like laying there, and you have to you could if you were sitting upwards, you were laying on your back, but you could kind of sit up and like kick or like slash at your opponent. But being downed, being prone in the middle of combat suddenly is not good if you trip over a corpse. But it was only if you walked backwards over a corpse, and it was like, it was a nice little detail. It was great. Way of the Samurai was great. It was hilarious. And if your army is starving, that certainly is true for the Skaven. Patrol. Got it. Looks like I got some purple blood on my pick. You know what they say. You can pick your friends, and you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose. Unless you're using a pick, and then you can. Because your friend won't survive the nose picking. And then there'll be no consequences. Why you would want to do this? I don't know. Why am I repeating something that, like, tons? That's the thing that people say, right? I've heard that people say that a lot. With a pick, exactly. That's what it's for. That's what it's for. Now that's making me think of a different joke. It was from History of the World. There was a movie called History of the World. The end of the civilization as we know it. Sorry, it was Sherlock Holmes in the case of the end of civilization as we know it. And the joke went like this: Why do the Irish have all the potatoes and the Arabs have all the oil? And the punchline is because the Irish had first pick. And not like a pickaxe, but the Irish got first choice. The Irish, and it's actually not that funny, but it was supposed to, in the film, it was supposed to make, he was using it to determine who Moriarty was because he had a special laugh. But nobody found it funny. Nobody found that joke funny. Unless you don't like the Irish. Although it would be interesting to see the Irish with oil, I guess. Or the Arabs with potatoes. But it was to determine which... Sherlock Holmes was using that joke to determine if his sidekick, Watson, was an imposter or not. There was two Watsons. And that was supposed to determine the imposter. By making him laugh. Instead, there was just Watson asking, Am I the imposter, Holmes? What do you mean? Am I the imposter? I don't know if I'm the imposter or not. I stream every day, Darnock. Every day except for Monday. And I stream at 7 o'clock, or 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on the weekends, I also stream at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 7 and 10 every... Well, I stream twice on weekends and once during the week. So I will be doing a second stream today, though. That'll be... I'm doing Deltarune at 10. Which will be cool. So in an hour after this. And I have some of my schedule details either on my main YouTube page or on my Discord. And thanks for asking. Okay, don't want to overextend. Overextending is bad. Gotta get some of that bonus health, though. Because we got that Nurgle right on us. Okay, Aaron's kind of isolated. I'll join him. We got some of those heroic assists. Or heroic interventions. You can see suddenly my bonus health is huge. So that's good news. Okay, gotta stick with Aaron. Boom, suddenly everyone's bonus meter is full. Yes. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, Nightbot's there to prevent spamming and whatnot. But that's okay. It's no big deal if you trigger it. It's the timeout's crap, I keep getting hit. The timeout's temporary. I messed up. I lost all my bonus health. For a second there, I almost thought it was boss music time.
A rush of water. Always
Yeah, the Nightbot might be a little bit too sensitive. If I have to adjust the sensitivity of the Nightbot, I will.
I'm out.
He's a bit... Nightbot's a bit sensitive. He's been going through a hard time recently.
You hit me, Grover. I feel the God. Reach out to me. You need more time. Storm bandit. Go east. Warm it here. If you can stop us, you're welcome to bloody try.
Yeah, Don't Starve Together. I'll be doing Don't Starve Together tomorrow, Pedro. And that one you guys can join me if you have Don't Starve Together. It will be doing the Forge. And I do that every weekend, so that one certainly is a thing. I want to do more Terraria with my fans. That'd be cool. But yeah, I've done plenty of games with my fans before. And I've had fans join me for this one as well. That's okay. You don't have to be good at the game necessarily. Okay, so far so good. Yeah, I normally play on wilderness mode, so whenever you die, you just leave a skeleton, but then you can come right back. And I kind of like that more than like endless mode or survival mode. It's kind of like a happy medium. And that way, every time, instead of becoming a ghost, you become a skeleton. And, you know, there's extra bones for other players. We can always take apart your skeleton kind of thing. And yeah, you just always spawn in a random spot every time you die, so it's no big deal. Well, as long as you don't burn the place intentionally, that's fine. And we got a few flingamatics, so. Yeah, see you next time, Darnock. Thanks for coming by, but yeah, we've certainly had a few accidental camp burnings. And we have had a couple intentional camp burnings too, but yeah, we got rid of those people right quick. But yeah, I don't mind the accidental. That won't get you banned.
Dead gas rats.
Tread with care. Vile corruption surrounds us. Our father's axe! It's a chaos warrior!
Plus, there are things I can do to revert the server if need be, and things like that. Although I don't usually do that. In special cases, I will.
We can cross here.
Because I don't like to revert the server for mistake if we can handle it, because that just makes it more difficult. But if everything's just like... I want people to have a good time too, yeah. So if people's good time is being ruined, then I'll do something about it. Oh, that was one of those kind of barrels. I was thinking that was a fire bomb or fire grenade. Or it's kind of weird how the fire barrel will friendly fire, but the fire grenade will not. I slipped and I don't want to be down here. I want to leave my friends over there. Okay, Aaron's in a vortex. Okay, that storm's still going. Ah, good. Okay, we got the Blightstormer.
Bandages, tinctures, and medicine.
Grab one of those. Did anyone need healing? I guess we're good. Exactly. It can be useful. It can be a good learning experience to play on higher difficulties, that's for sure. Usually that's where you do the most learning, as long as you don't die immediately. Like, recently I was playing, like I said, I was playing RimWorld on ice sheets. And I certainly learned a lot of new strategies for RimWorlds that I wouldn't have otherwise in easier environments. So sometimes desperate times, yeah, will teach you a lot. I mean, the only times it won't is when you're spending more time being dead than alive in games. You're not going to get much experience that way, of course, but if you're barely clinging to life, that'll teach you. That'll teach him. Oh. And I generally have a lot more fun playing extremely difficult games. I love the difficulty. However, sometimes I play with people who aren't quite ready to deal with extremely high difficulty settings, so I want it to be like a happy average so that people can kind of have the experience they want to have. We can all have fun together.
Stay close to me. I see the path.
So that's why I have it set up like I do, where the caves are really, really difficult, but the surface isn't as difficult. So I can always go down into the caves to deal with, like, hell. And then the people on the surface can deal with the normal don't starve, which is still pretty scary. And yeah, if you're not having fun with the game, then the easier difficulty setting is the way to go. You got it. But yeah, oftentimes in cooperative games, I'll be like hitting my head on a wall in a really difficult setting, and the other players with me will be like, "Can we do something easier?" And I'll be like, "Oh, well, I'm okay. We can do it. We can do it, guys. We lost the third time in a row. We can do it." But there are a lot of people out there that just always want to do like a sure thing. They always want to win, and I can understand that. I mean, I don't want to always win, but I can understand having like a decent chance, like more than a 50-50 chance of winning. But I often feel at home when I only have like a 25% chance of winning, or even like a 10% chance of winning, because if you beat the odds, that just makes your victory that much sweeter. But I get it. I get only... Like, particularly in some of those online cooperative games where they only give you a reward when you succeed. Some games will give you a reward whether you succeed or fail. Like, this game will give you a reward if you fail. It's not quite as big as the reward is when you succeed, but it's decent. But if a game's only going to reward you when you succeed, then I can understand kind of being that way in certain games. Although it's kind of a shame, because what's the point of playing a game if you know you're always going to win? I kind of ask you. I use my special to take less damage. Because that was a good idea. Uh-oh. It's coming for me again. Frickin' plague winds. Yeah, Kruber could use a bit of healing, I guess. I should stick with Kruber. I probably should use potion. Potion. All right. We got some heavy dudes to cleave through. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. Still feeling kind of hurt. I should be sticking closer to my friends. I'm getting attacked from all directions. Yeah. Ow. Yeah, I'm really close. Really close to going down after that. I was just fighting right out in the middle. I can't fight out in the middle quite as much as I used to.
I have found medical supplies.
I think Hammy should probably take that one.
You'll have a fine scar, Kruber.
There you go.
Healing supplies, Dory. That's better.
Thank you.
Nice work as always.
Yeah, that too. If the game has a longer campaign, or a shorter campaign, then the higher difficulty can be way more fun, too.
Get up here!
Come on, then.
You heal clapping your hands? Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you kind of rub your hands together. That's true. Clap your hands. Oh, clap your hands, everybody. It does, the animation kind of looks like you're doing that. I get what you're saying. Sure does. That's all you need to do. Clap your hands, 1, 2, 3, and now you're healthy. That's all there is to first aid and doctoring. Just rub your hands together a few times. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, hot green fire. Hot green fire!
Over there, backstabber.
Or a high five. Yeah, high fives are the way to go. Infinite high fives. It up. Ah, cool. Oh, ow. Not cool. Frickin' don't suicide on me, you. Don't suicide. Don't use suicide. Ow, that hurt. Ooh, oh, okay. Time. Ah, crap. Suddenly things got real. Got separated from my friends a bit. Alright, that's better. I like how he spins the pickaxe, too. But it's awesome. Yeah, good to see you guys. Or I'm glad I have some Brazilian viewers. That's awesome. Or it's, yeah, thank you for watching from Brazil. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's the best way to learn a language, is just to, learn by watching and communicating. Huh. That's actually something I haven't thought about. I could check out some... Well, thank you for that, Pedro. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I should check out some... If there's a language I want to learn, I should check out some live streams in that language. Because usually I just watch, like, films in a particular language. And that's how I learn. And, you know, films and TV shows, there's something, but... Yeah. I'm going to occasionally watch other people's live streams, but I don't tune into live streams from other countries. But that would be something to do. That'd be something to do.
This looks like the way down.
Or like, I know sometimes YouTubers do raids on other YouTubers. I don't usually buy DLC unless it gets really good reviews. Because DLC is expensive, typically.
Eyes open. Don't let that blight stormer take us by surprise.
Yeah, it's great advice, Pedro. I appreciate that.
That's a good stormy, Dory. Come and penetrate.
Okay, gotta get ready for this horde. There's a powder keg over there, right? Okay, there's a heavy chaos warrior there. And a heavy chaos warrior here, okay. Maybe I should bomb these guys? I'm always worried about... I want to use my bomb, but I don't want to friendly fire my... Yeah, this would be a great time to bomb, actually. Here's the bomb! Boom! Okay. That works. That works. That was good. That wasn't a bad time for a bomb. Okay, even did a bit of a jump. Like, really dunked it. That was good. Love the way they go flying, too. The ragdolling and falling over is great. Yeah, and I certainly have learned a lot of Japanese from anime. That's for sure. And I'm happy about that. Whenever I was playing some of those Japanese games... Yeah, I played a couple other Warhammer games. Now I'm forgetting the name of it. There was this one that was like kind of like XCOM, where it was like a turn-based one. Yep. Thanks. Sugoi? I think it's... I'd say that's... Yeah, I'd say it's Sugoi. It's pretty amazing. Is it? Well, it's actually just comes naturally, is what it does. It's just... Anime is awesome. Mochiron! Or I'm happy to do so. It's always... Like, One Punch Man was really cool, or just... Like, I could talk about anime for quite a while. Anime is kakkoi. It's cool. It's often kawaii too, but I think that's like one of the few things. That's like my only problem. Oh shit! Patrol! Oh crap! I almost didn't see it. Ah crap! I was thinking about Japanese stuff. Oh shit! I almost triggered that patrol. I was so close to triggering that patrol. I was as close as it gets to triggering that patrol. I can take the patrol. I was getting carried away with my intense Jonetsu. My burning passion. My Jonetsu was out of control. My young man's passion. My shonen Jonetsu was totally off the hook there. Oh. But, like, that's one of the things that... Like, I don't like the cute anime as much as I like the, like, ridiculously violent. I love my ridiculously violent animes. I love it when animes get really violent. Although... Yeah, triggered an anime patrol. Although there are a few cute animes that are still entertaining. I don't mind, but it's like one of those things about Japanese culture is that, like, everything has to have an element of cuteness in it to be more profitable. And that's just one of the things you just have to accept about anime. And, I mean, I don't mind the cuteness. It's just part of the... Just like we have a formula, they have a formula, you know? And the cuteness is part of their formula. Just like Hollywood. Hollywood, man, they have a formula. Where, like, they'll take a story and it's like, well, let's reboot that story. And let's, like add a love interest to that story. And let's do this and that. And it's like, it's kind of the same way, except for I think that anime's way of doing things is slightly better. I certainly like Japanese formula more. I like the anime formula more than the Hollywood formula. And not all animes follow that formula, really. Cute and aggressive. Well, certainly Agretsuko is like that. Aggressive and cute. Cutely aggressive. Or should I? I'll grab that tome. But some of my favorite animes are both cute and horrifying at the same time, or cute and aggressive. It's true. Although some are just recklessly, incredibly violent. Like I did like the original series of Berserk because of its incredibly violent moments. There are some WTF moments though, so it's not like. But I loved Berserk, and I loved this other anime called MDS Geist. Not really the best movie, but it had like these really ridiculously violent moments that were interesting because they were just so over the top, like what you would describe as like ultra violence, yes, like Clockwork Orange talks about. Nothing wrong with a bit of the old ultra violence. Just like the idea of like animating all the details of that. There was other really ultra-violent animes that were interesting in that sense. Or I like comedy. I like the psychological animes, and I do like some of those ultra-violent animes too. They're all very interesting. Whenever they kind of go off, anything untraditional, I kind of find really interesting. Something that you wouldn't see in Hollywood, and wouldn't see as a typical anime either. Oh, Cromarty High! I love that one! Yeah, with the lead singer of Queen. That's one of my favorite animes of all time. Cromarty High School. You have very good taste, Pedro. There's Freddie Mercury as like one of the like fellow high school students. And there's like this robot who's talking about like how machines are gonna take over society even though he is a robot. And there's that guy that like is like the toughest guy in high school, but he can't like stand riding on things. Or also the guy with the crazy hair. The guy with the crazy hair I love so much. It's like he's having a conversation and his hair is like a different character. It's just like flying. It's like he told the animators, just have fun with this guy's hair. If you can distract the viewers from everything that's going on by making this guy's hair insane, please do it. It was great. I love that. I love Cromarty High School. If you guys haven't seen Cromarty High School, do yourself a favor. If you like insane zany comedy, Cromarty and Bobo, they're both great. Yeah, it's awesome. That's just. Yeah, I really love Bobo I love the zany, the really, really zany comedy. And I feel like that's like kind of the same thing. Or there was the other guy that just like talks about comedy, like comedy theory. And he's got like that crazy afro. And he's always trying to be as funny as possible. Oh, I love, yeah, that's gotta be one of my favorite of all time. Just because it was so inventive. I could watch that over and over again, like, or, just like there was a couple other moments where, like, The robot got turned into like a motorcycle. Or like, that's right, the one time where they got picked up by the police, yeah. Yeah, and I was talking about Space Dandy earlier on my Discord. Like, I loved episode 4 of Space Dandy, where they became zombies. It was like The Walking Dead. They became zombies, and they were having to deal with life as zombies. And they were all depressed until like another zombie came along and said, it's all about how you think about it. In the end, you're not rotting. You're still growing. You can have life. Life doesn't end after becoming a zombie. You're not rotting. You're merely fermenting. That's what you're doing. When you're living life as a zombie, you're fermenting. That's real life as a zombie. Yep. You can have a good life as a zombie. It was great. Yeah, well done. We did it. We actually did it. None of us died. That was intense. And it was fun talking about anime. Yeah, I've been thinking about branching out my channel to talk about anime and history. Because that's basically what we've been doing while I've been playing this game, is talking about anime and history. You're slowly becoming a beer. I was thinking like, well, beer is good. Beer works. Beer, a fine wine, or a yogurt. Weren't they talking about yogurt too? Whatever ferments. Take your favorite fermented thing. Natto. Take your favorite fermented thing. There's lots of things that become great after fermenting. There was, And good to see you, Bjor. Welcome to the stream. Is there any anime you could watch while streaming? I don't know how that works. If I watched an anime while streaming, would they give me problems? Like say, hey, you don't own this? That's the thing, I don't really watch... I don't know. I don't know the specifics of it. I would like to. I would really like to. Ah, okay. Yeah, that was awesome. I don't think we have time.
To admit, you used that shield well, Bardi. Not what I expected.
Yeah, we could do some hardcore mods. And, yeah, we only have 15 minutes left, and I doubt we could do a run in 15 minutes, but, yeah.
Well, I've had a few years of experience over you and that scraggly beard of yours.
And, yeah, well... Yeah, that was awesome. Well played. I'm gonna go ahead and open up these chests real quick, because I got these chests. But yeah, I guess I wouldn't have any legal... Would I have legal issues? I'm gonna make sure to do some research. Not that I don't take your word for it, Pedro, but it never hurts to be safe, because I've just never done anything like that. I haven't done any... Like, I know there's a lot of awesome reaction channels on YouTube, and that's a thing. So I guess the water's been tested. Yeah. Yeah, we are playing it on Legend. But there are some, like, hardcore mods that could really amp things up. Like, I wonder, could we do, like, a mod to make it harder and Twitch mode at the same time? Because that would be great. Because Twitch mode is awesome. Alright, yeah, and in 1 hour I will be doing Deltarune. Yes. So... Yeah, I'll see you guys in an hour.
You've been good comrades.
Yeah, thanks guys. And it was really cool talking with you guys. Like yeah. yeah, I'm definitely going to think about branching out to anime and history. Well, I'm going to do both of those things, without a doubt. Just because I like doing that stuff. And it's always... YouTube's all about making your passion. One of the best things about YouTube is that you can make, like, your passion into content. That's, like, the best kind of content, so... Yeah. So shout-outs to Aaron Kessinger, Hammy, McTable. You guys did great. Shout-outs to Pedro, Cola Mittens, Yoao Pedro, Bjor, everyone who was here. Pedro and Yoao Pedro. Darnock234, Dubwubs97, Nee, hello, it's a me. Nitro Online, Dylan Hill, and everyone else. Yeah, it's been awesome. All right, so thanks for watching, and see you guys in an hour. It should be awesome. We'll be playing Deltarune, so it should be awesome. I am so excited. That game just makes me feel good. Deltarune is really a feel-good game. And yeah, it just really makes it feel that way. So, like, it's full of positivity, good vibes, comedy, and clever jokes. So, yeah, I'll see you guys there. Thanks again, and tomorrow for Don't Starve Together. That'll be awesome. So see you tomorrow, Yoao, and see you in an hour for Deltarune. Maybe that can be the runes on my runic. The Delta rune. That would go well for my runic dwarven mail. Alright, Deltarune! See you next time.